And we are back. We are here. We are live. Right, hold on. Let me just make sure we're live. I'm pretty sure we're live. Excuse me. We are live. I feel like Bruce Buffer. Okay, so this is more of my caveman look. I'm getting a little, it's like me and Louie, my dog. I don't know, he's going to come in, but you may not be able to see him on camera. But Louie and I are starting to both resemble a Sasquatch and an abominable snowman, respectively, right? Because he's white, so he would be the abominable snowman. I'm starting to feel a little like a Sasquatch. Look at me drinking my water, hydrating with two hands, maybe like a Sasquatch would, or some kind of an animal in the forest. So good. Hydration is way underrated. I used to never drink water. Now I have my favorite, one of my favorites. I have another water bottle that's black, and it's got the coolest pop top, and then it's got like a rubber thing that you drink from, and it's very, very comfortable. It holds a lot of water. It's great. It keeps things cold, and it's very portable. And I have a lot of cool stickers on it, right? So enough about hydration, but it is very, very important. I'm here live on YouTube. If you are checking out my live stream, that's super cool. I hope you feel inclined to subscribe. I hope you feel inclined to check out my other videos on here. I mean, I have a lot of videos and they date back a while, so you can actually go back and look at certain videos and you will see my humble beginnings when I first started to do any kind of instructional videos. My name is Mark Zapata. I am the owner and founder of Mark Z Drums. Over 10 years ago, I started teaching. Some things happened in my life, and prior to those things happening, I started to become pulled in the direction of the creative. I've been playing drums since I'm 7. And I kind of put that aside to get a real job and to raise a family. And I started to get pulled back towards the creative. In that time that I was working a real job, I was playing in bands. But I did stop for a little while. And was pulled back in by a friend who I used to play music with in high school. And he called me up. He was in a band. And he started to work with these other musicians in this other band. They needed a drummer. He called me up, and that's kind of how I started the second half of my musical career. The first one being when I started playing at 7, got in bands when I was a teenager, played up until a certain point that I got married. Did not play for a little while at all. Definitely not in bands, but not even at all. And then the second half of my music career started. My friend kind of pulled me out of retirement. And I started playing shows, and I started playing in a band. And then that situation ended. Another situation began. That situation, after a couple of personnel changes, lasted about 12 years of playing all around the U.S. and recording some records and writing a lot of music and playing a lot of shows and touring and having a ton of fun. And then that led me to continue on in other projects that led me to touring the world. And now doing online stuff, this is all kind of relatively new. I've been posting videos for a while, but the live online thing is pretty new. But that also led to me recording a bunch of stuff with a bunch of different people, working with different people, touring with different people. And then it led to me starting Mark Z Drums, which is my love and the passion of my life right now, is teaching people and sharing my experience and my knowledge with people who want to hear it, and helping to shape the lives of young musicians, helping to shape their musical lives through drums and also other stuff. I work with student bands, so I try to help use my experience and my knowledge to help young people to figure out how to be in a band, to communicate, to work together, to learn music together, to be able to run a rehearsal, to problem solve, to all kinds of things, performance, everything. So I've really kind of leaned into the creative musical part of my life. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. So I'm very grateful to be able to have this wealth of experience and knowledge out of all the things that I've been able to do with music in my life, and to be able to share it. So poke around on my YouTube channel. I have videos from when I was in a garage, videos from when I was in a little tiny room, and videos currently from this space that I've built here. That is still in the process. I'm working on the lighting, I'm working on some other stuff, but we're getting close to where it's going to eventually be. The other thing I'm happy to announce is that I began working on an online drumming course, which will be available in the very near future. It's something that I'm very, very proud of, and I'm very, very happy with as I create the content for you. And it will cover all kinds of stuff, not just the physical aspect of drumming, but everything on the periphery that will help you enjoy drumming more and help you be more successful in whatever avenue you choose. Whether you are drumming as a hobbyist for fun and you want to have more fun, that's a legitimate goal. Whether or not you want to become a professional musician and get paid to play drums, that's a legitimate goal. If you want to become a famous YouTube drummer, that's a legitimate goal. Every goal that you may have with your drumming life is legitimate, and I am happy to help. So besides instructional videos, I have a lot of drum covers. I've been taking requests from friends, but I also want to offer the ability to request drum covers from me through my Patreon. I'm in the middle of setting it up, but keep this in mind, because I don't even know if you can go over there right now. That's where I'm at in my journey, and I will say this to you without hesitation. That is why I'm in my journey. Check it out, Mark Z Drums on Patreon. But I am working on putting that together so that you can become a member of my Patreon. And the first thing you'll be able to do as a member is request drum covers from me. I think as we move along, I will expand that to offer song breakdowns, where I will play the song and then explain to you what goes into playing that song. So if you are trying to learn certain songs that maybe you're having trouble with, I will come along, I will play the song for you, and then I will give you the breakdown of what's going on. And that should help, you know, because like I said, I want to help you enjoy drumming. Wherever you go in drumming, I want to help. So yeah, if you're on here on my live, go check out my other videos. I have live performance videos. I have instructional videos, like I said. I have videos of concerts I've been to. I have some voiceover videos on there because I do some voiceover. I recently did a 50th anniversary video for BMW where I was the featured voice. And I recently checked, it was about a year ago, and it's about 3.5 million views. So that's pretty cool. I have yet to put that on my YouTube channel, but I'll put it up there. I'll share it with everybody because it was a really cool experience. But anyway, back to drums. What I want to do today is I want to talk about a couple of things. I just left my Twitch stream. If there's anybody here from my Twitch stream, welcome. Thank you for making the jump over to a different platform. And what I was talking about on my Twitch stream is how I've become part of a lot of families. And I'm grateful for that. I travel to a lot of students' homes and I teach them in person. And I also do virtual lessons. And I also teach in a couple of different music schools. So I have a lot of clients, I have a lot of students. I also work with student bands in a different school where, like I said before, I teach them how to be a band. I work with them as they prepare for the end of semester show, which will take place in a local club that I would perform in with one of my bands. And that's a great experience too, because they get to perform in a very safe environment, in a very supportive environment. Some of them, it's their first time performing on stage. They get to perform on a real stage with real lighting and a real sound system and you know, real equipment and everything like that, and all the encouragement and direction that they can get. I'm very proud to be part of a system that helps young people have positive performance experiences. Listen, they're going to go out in the world, and if they choose to continue on and get their own bands and do their own stuff, they're going to experience all kinds of reactions, like I did. But to have their first few performances occur in such a safe environment is really, really encouraging. They could focus on just having fun and doing their thing. They don't have to worry about all the other stuff that they will be worrying about further down the road when they start their own bands. So it's really, really cool. That's why I love recitals that are just for my individual students, where they either play along with maybe a band made up of adults or teachers or backing tracks. They get to perform songs that we've worked on. So not only does the hard work pay off at the end, where, hey, we've been working on these songs for months, we've been doing rehearsals with the band for months, and it culminates in this performance. You know, it's so valuable, and so many lessons learned about nerves and being afraid and walking through that fear and getting up on that stage and performing, and the amazing feeling you get after you've walked through that fear. You felt the fear, you've done it anyway. Fantastic. I had a quick story. Oh, and I forgot to tell this other story. But anyway, one of my last bands that just did their end of semester performance, 3 weeks prior to the show, the singer quit. There was a conflict with another band member. The singer decided to leave. We were without a singer. We went from a 4-piece, 14-year-old all-girl band to a 3-piece, 14-year-old all-girl band. By the way, I had, for the last semester, I'm off for the summer. I've taken the summer off. But for the last semester, I had a 5-piece all-girl band about 14 years old, and I had a 4-piece all-girl band about 14 years old. I also had a student that I brought to the school that I was teaching privately, and still do, but she became part of 2 bands in the school. And probably they may be all-girl bands. Like, this surge of female drummers and musicians that I've been experiencing over the last bunch of years is fantastic. Chef's kiss to all the girls out there that want to play drums, that want to play bass, that want to play guitar, that want to sing, and are killing it, because my girls are killing it. And my students, my female student drum students are killing it. All my students are, but the girls have come, they've brought it. The girls have brought it big time. So anyway, back to the story. The singer quits about 3 weeks before the performance. What do? We don't want to cancel the show. We don't have a singer. I noticed that one of my guitar players, or the only guitar player in that band, because it was a 4-piece, we only had one guitar player. I had noticed over the rehearsals, the course of rehearsals, that she enjoyed singing. She would sing backup. She would mess around on the microphone and sing, and she actually sounded pretty good. With no training, she was not a vocal student in the school, but she was a very good guitar player. And I said to her, would you consider singing? And I could tell that she enjoyed it, but I could also tell that she was nervous about it. She wanted to do it, but she didn't want to do it. She said yes. And we did a little back and forth over the next week or so. I can't do it. I think I can do it. I can't do it. I think I can do it. I encouraged her the whole time. She sang 3 out of 5 songs. First time ever singing lead. First time ever singing on stage. First time ever singing in front of an audience. And another girl from my other band stepped in to sing the other 2 songs. Now, in a couple of weeks' notice, she worked her butt off to be able to play guitar and sing 3 songs. And what did I say to them? I said, listen, we had an unfortunate situation where we had a band member leave. We had the singer leave. And that's a terrible thing. It's unfortunate. Nobody's happy about it. There was a lot of feelings about it, right? Obviously. I said, but what was the result? The result was that somebody did something they didn't think they could do. You found out, my guitar player who sang those 3 songs, she found out that she can, not only could she sing songs, sing lead, but she could sing and play guitar at the same time. She could get up on stage and sing for the first time in front of a crowd, and she had fun. Those are the positives that come out of the situation of having a band member leave. The other thing I said to them was that that stuff happens. When you're in a band, people leave. It's just part of it. It's how we respond that's most important. We don't shrivel up. We don't give up. We don't cancel the show. We figure out a way to move forward, and that's what we did. So beautiful lessons all around that came out of a bad situation, an unfortunate situation. I think things have since been patched up, and the vocalist who ended up leaving the band is still involved in bands, is still involved in music, is still involved in singing and taking lessons. So, you know, it all worked out for the best. But again, silver lining in a situation. Somebody that didn't think they could do something found out they could and that they liked it. And I guarantee that she may be, in the next couple of years, playing guitar and singing in coffee shops, making extra money, you know, and then eventually writing music of her own and whatever she does musically moving forward. So kudos to her. More power to everybody involved in what I'm doing with these student bands. It's been the joy of my life for the last few years that I've been doing it, and I couldn't be happier with it. So anyway, the whole point of this story was to talk about how we have a goal, we set goals, we set a direction, we want to go here, we put a plan in place. We start to work that plan. We gather information, we figure out the plan, we start to work the plan. Something happens. We have to deviate. We have to move to the left or to the right. We have to get to that goal. We're not stopping the process. We're not stopping in our tracks, but we're figuring out what adjustments we need to make in order to get to that same place. But maybe we get there in a way that we didn't expect to, but that's okay because we have a plan and we can be flexible with our plan and still stick to the plan with some adjustments, okay? That's probably not even the point I was getting at, but anyway, that was a good story. As I talked about earlier, when my life changed direction and I started Mark Z Drums, I decided that I felt like I had a talent. People told me I had a talent. I was in a number of bands for a lot of years and I had a lot of fun, and watching the people respond to what we were doing collectively as a band, and then after the show, people coming up to me directly and responding to what I did individually on the drums was an indicator that I had something to offer in this realm, and that I didn't want to waste it, and I wanted to use it, and I wanted to enjoy it, and I wanted to share it, and I wanted to honor it. We have talents. We need to honor them. Not everybody can do what a musician does. Not everybody can do what an artist does. Not everybody can do what a lot of people do. We have gifts. We have talents. We should use them. So anyway, when I started teaching, two things occurred to me. Number one, this is really hard. Teaching was really hard in the beginning. There were aspects of teaching that were very difficult. The second thing that happened immediately after that was that teaching became extremely rewarding, and I didn't realize how rewarding teaching would become. As I got better at teaching and I got better at communicating ideas and concepts, and as I got better at figuring out my students' individual needs and how they learn best, and working with them in that capacity to help them to enjoy drums and help them to learn as best they could, whether it's visually or auditory, whatever kind of learning they learned best, whatever kind of methods, whether they needed to watch me play it, they needed to hear it, they needed to see it written out in notation, whatever it was. As I got better and better at that, I started to get more and more rewards. And as I became part of people's lives, teaching their children or teaching them, I began to realize that I was not just teaching people how to play the drums. I was, to a certain extent, teaching people problem solving, and how to take on a task, and a seemingly difficult task, and how to break down these things into smaller, manageable chunks and tackling them one at a time until we got the whole thing down. the importance of consistency, the importance of dedication, the importance of discipline, which are all things that can be applied to every other aspect of a person's life. And then I began to learn from those lessons myself, and I began to put into practice the things that I was teaching my students. But an amazing thing happened the other day. I had a new student that was kind of described to me as maybe a behavior problem. A young girl, 7 years old, cute as a button, came in because they felt that the teacher that she was assigned needed to be patient. And if anything, I've been told millions of times how patient I am. And I am, and I've become patient because I was that age. I was 7 years old. I was learning the drums myself. There's another video somewhere floating around where I tell my drumming origin story, where I started drumming at 7 years old, what happened to me, and why I became a drummer. So I'd been working with this girl for maybe 4 lessons, and she still hasn't spoken to me at all. In our lessons, she will not speak. I know she can speak because I've heard her speak to her parents before and after our lessons. But in our lessons, she doesn't speak. I'm not sure why, but okay, that's fine. You don't have to. We find ways to communicate. What I'm doing with her is she brought in one song that she likes, the duck song. And I play a game near the end of the lesson when we have a few minutes left. Let's listen to some music and let's see if there's anything you like. And I go through different genres, pop music, rock music, you know, whatever it is. And I tell her, shake your head yes if you like it, no if you don't. She has not liked anything that I've played for her. And a lot of times she may listen, as soon as the vocals come in, big no, right? And it's very, very funny. But she's a good listener, she's a good student, and she picks up very well the rhythms and the things that I'm showing her now. I have great hopes for her. Well, anyway, at the end of the last lesson we had the other day, I was out in the lobby of the school talking to her dad, and out of nowhere, she comes up and she wraps her arms around me and gives me a big hug. I did not expect it. I don't know where it came from. It just made my heart melt, and I gave her a little hug, and she was on her way. That shows me that she's comfortable in her lessons. I had to set some boundaries with her as far as, you know, I need you to pay attention. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And I don't know if that's what she appreciated, you know, but I treated her like I felt I should in the lesson. And it worked. And she's been listening, and she's been participating, and she's been progressing. But that hug really showed me that I'm doing something right. And when I have so much feedback from not only my students, but my students' parents about how the child is responding and how the child is growing and progressing, it just warms my heart, and it just gives me that feeling, hey, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Sometimes I doubt it. Listen, teachers don't make a lot of money. That's why I have to be an entrepreneur. That's why I have to do many different things. But this is the life I chose. And I chose to make music my life, which means I have to do many different things. But it's all things that I love. Teaching is a part of it. Teaching is one of the biggest parts of it. But there are other things. So it's not a financial, windfall for me choosing the life of a teacher. But the rewards, I would never trade in for $1 million. So being able to do what I'm doing, I'm very, very grateful. That's a little bit about me, my method of teaching. Again, individual. My students are individuals. I'm grateful I don't teach in a classroom situation where I have to make one lesson for the entire class of students who all may learn totally different from one another. I get to sit individually with my students and teach them and figure out, kind of unlock that secret of how they learn best. But anyway, where am I going with all of this? I don't know. In my live Twitch, I was talking about rudiments. 1933 is when the NARD, N-A-R-D, National Association of Rudimental Drummers, released 26 rudiments, exercises for the hands that they decided would make us better drummers. They then added 26 more in a compound rudiment type of format. I started learning these Nard rudiments, but I didn't really love them because it was only sticking. It was only lefts and rights. There was no musical notation in the list of Nard rudiments, the one that I was taught anyway. And I had to learn how all the rhythms went. Well, the Percussive Art Society in 1984 came along and they took those 26 rudiments and they added 14 extra rudiments to round out the list at 40 Percussive Art Society rudiments, including the original 26 from Nard in 1933 to 14 more that they added. And this is the list that I go by. Go to the Percussive Art Society website, PAS 40 Drum Rudiments, and you will be able to download these rudiments for free. I would suggest putting them on your music stand, tacking them up on your wall. There's some great posters. I think Vic Firth, Tommy Igoe makes one where it's a poster you put on your wall and you can see all your rudiments, 40 rudiments, clear as day. And it's a reminder, hey, when you sit down to practice, go over your rudiments. Make sure you know them. Make sure you get them down, because your rudiments are exercises that make us faster, more coordinated, stronger, and play with more control. So 40 rudiments, go check them out. Go download them. I started to go through them on the Twitch stream. I will go over them briefly, but this will be something that's going to be included in my online drumming course. There are 5 families of rudiments, 5 groups of rudiments. I like to call them families. There's the paradiddle family. There is the rudiments family. There's the flam family, the drag family, and the roll family. The rolls go from 5 to 17, all odd numbers, but also a 6 and a 10, the only 2 even numbered rolls in the bunch. And then we have basics: single stroke roll, double stroke roll, triple stroke roll, single stroke 4, single stroke 7, multiple bounce roll. So the roll rudiments you can kind of pick up, because when we start at the 5-stroke roll, it's 2 doubles, 1 single, all the way to the 17-stroke roll, which is 8 doubles, 1 single. Okay, the 6 and the 10 are a little bit different, but that's a family of rudiments that you can get through and get behind to get started. My 2, maybe 3 most important rudiments, let's say 2, because we have the single stroke roll, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Then we have a double stroke roll, which is right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, on and on and on and on, right? And we practice these to develop coordination, control, speed, endurance, all of that good stuff. So single stroke roll, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Back and forth all day long. Double stroke roll, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Get good at those 2 rudiments, because all of the other rudiments that you see in the 40 drum rudiments will be combinations of single strokes and double strokes in different rhythms. There will be ghost notes as well, or taps, in the flam and the drag rudiments and the rudiment rudiments. And then there will be straightforward singles and doubles. All of your roll rudiments from 5 through 17 will consist of double strokes, followed by a single stroke at the end for the most part. One will have a single stroke in the beginning and at the end, but double strokes in the middle. One will have 2 single strokes at the end. I'm talking about the 10-stroke roll. So what I'm telling you is doubles and singles make up all of the other rudiments. So to get started, get really good at your single strokes, get really good at your double strokes. It will benefit you as you move through the rest of the rudiments. Real quick, single stroke roll. I'm not going to get into grip because I have videos on grip you can go and check out on my YouTube channel. Also, check out my TikTok. I'm trying to grow my TikTok followers so that I can go live on TikTok. Seems like a really fun community. And also follow Skinny George on TikTok, because I just won a contest that he had. He got a bunch of followers, and when he reached a milestone, he ran a contest. I put my name in the hat. I got picked. I'm getting stuff probably today in the mail from him, and he's giving me a free 1-hour online lesson. Who does that? The guy's awesome. He's a really good follow on TikTok, and he's got great hands. He's like a rudimental drumline guy, and I stumbled upon him, and I really got into him, and started to follow him. So you can do the same, but go to my TikTok as well, Mark Z Drums on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, whatever it is. Go check me out. Give me a follow. Give me some love. Send me some feedback. I'd love to know what you're thinking. When you are doing your single stroke rolls, make sure of a couple of different things, right, that we want to concentrate on. Number one, we want to bring the sticks straight up and down, right? We want our sticks in the middle of the drum, straight up and down. Point that stick to the ceiling, right? The stick to the ceiling. The hand comes up, not the arm. We're not doing this. We're doing this. Okay, look in the overhead camera. We're doing this. We're not doing this. We're doing this. At times when we're playing in real time, when we're playing on the drums, there's going to be some arm movement. You're going to be moving around the drums. Your arms are going to be moving. When we're practicing our single strokes, we don't want arms moving. We want a relaxed posture. We want elbows at the sides. We want our wrists to do the moving, the hands to bring the sticks up and down. We want to hit the same place every time on the drum, same spot. We want our sticks to come straight up and down. We want our strokes to sound similar to each other. And we also want to make sure that we are allowing the stick to rebound off of the surface. We don't want to hit the drum and push it down into the drum. No, we want the drum to ring. We want it to sing. We want that stick to bounce up, and we control that bounce. So we want to make sure, like I said, our sticks are coming straight up and down. We're hitting the same spot in the drum. Our strokes are sounding the same, and the stick heights. Look, at my sticks are coming up about the same height as each other. That's what we want, right? We want the sticks coming up the same height. We want them to sound nice and even. As we move along, we're going to start to increase our speed. But I will tell you this, in the beginning, we don't want to concentrate on increasing our speed. We don't have to. We want to concentrate on increasing our timing, making sure everything is nice and even. The more comfortable we get playing evenly, and the more we practice, the speed will just happen to tick up. We'll get faster. It'll become more comfortable. It'll become easier. Therefore, we will start to play faster. At some point, you will reach a plateau, and then you can concentrate on building your speed. But in the beginning, concentrate on building your timing, getting your timing really solid, getting your strokes very even. That's the most important thing. We want to be even as drummers. That's our job. We keep time. We keep even time. So once we reach that plateau and we've gotten very even with our single strokes, we can tick up the speed little by little. If we start to get a little wonky, we know we may be going too fast. We want to bring the speed back until we can play evenly. Again, watch my stick heights. You see they're coming up the same height. The strokes are sounding even. So once you get comfortable with that, the speed will just happen. Just like when we're doing rock beats, right? I have a video where I do a basic rock beat. Get the coordination down first, get the timing down first. Get it really solid, even at a slow speed. Or even slower. Whatever we need to do to play evenly and to play it properly, the speed will always be there, and it will come when we get comfortable. Right? That speed is perfectly fine and perfectly acceptable, and the same with our single stroke rolls. However slow we need to play them evenly is absolutely fine. It's all good. All right. So that's basically what I wanted to come on and say. I wanted to tell you the story of the wonderful hug I got from my student. I wanted to share the story of the singer that left the band and how the remaining bandmates responded in an amazing way. A little bit about my journey of drumming. Definitely about my Patreon, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Still trying to figure out all that online stuff. But definitely the TikTok. That's like most important to me. And go to my YouTube because there's a lot of great stuff on my YouTube as well. Follow me on Mark Z Drums across all platforms. Give me a like. Give me a follow. If you want to be part of my community, send me a message. I'm going to go look into that Patreon thing and make sure it's all set up in case you do want to go and check it out and join. There'll be stuff for you to do. There'll be stuff for you to understand. And you'll be able to join. And then we could start this thing together. There are going to be people that jumped on in the very beginning. And we're all going to look back when we've grown a big, beautiful community of drummers and we're helping a lot of people and we're sharing ideas and we're working together. That we're all going to look back and we're going to say, I remember when we first started. So remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let's be patient with ourselves when we're working on new things. Let's help other people when we can. And with that, I'm going to get off. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.